I can hear you, Chad. This is the beginning of the episode. It's where it starts. There's no fucking music. If you don't like it, go fuck
Got
yourself.
it. Nothing. What's going on?
I
We're
can
just
hear
gonna
you,
wait while
Chad.
Chad gets his audio figured out. It's been
Fine.
3 weeks. I guess
Okay.
we're a bit
I
rusty.
can I can hear Chad. Chad just
Like,
can't hear me.
yeah, I can hear you now. My kid
Okay.
must have been playing with the volume on the side of the headset.
Mm.
Yeah,
You had a fucking fancy microphone like me, you wouldn't have these problems.
you're right. But I would also have probably yogurt spilled in it, and
That's
there
true.
would be
I just think
goldfish in
it's
it.
your lack of willingness to make an investment in this podcast.
Ooh.
I'm burning the candle at both ends as it is.
Yeah, I'm really fucking busy.
Yeah.
Ridiculously busy. It's fucking May though. If you're not busy now, you're pretty much screwed.
That's true.
If
So
you
you've
don't
done.
if you don't need an extra truck in May, then you might as well shut your fucking business down.
I thought about buying an extra truck this week.
Exactly. Because it's
Yeah,
May. But don't
yeah.
buy it because in August you'll look at it and be like, why the fuck did I buy that truck? You'd be like, oh, it was May and I need an extra truck.
So what do you do in the meantime? Just make do?
Just suffer.
Just suffer.
That's what we're supposed to do. We're landscape
There's
company.
there's
I
been
don't even
some
have
suffering.
I don't even have a fucking voice. My microphone's not fucked up. I just don't have a voice from allergies.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it's not from yelling at the guys, it's from allergies.
I can't yell at them because I fucking allergies. I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. When is it that we see the pollen start to fly? Is that June? When everything's coated in
It's
a
it's
dusting?
in Toronto. It's flying now, but
Really?
you middle of the middle of nowhere, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's probably more pollen here, I'd assume, because there's more nature.
Yeah, but it would come out later because it's colder, right?
Slightly, slightly colder.
Well,
Yeah.
it took longer for the snow to melt. I'm just basing it on that.
True. Yeah, you're right.
I honestly don't know jack shit about Cornwall till I started doing this podcast. So
I didn't even know it existed.
I
And
think
you
I knew
guys,
it existed, but I think I just was in denial of it.
yeah, you're not missing much out here.
I was
So
good.
we did do a poll on that music, that intro music, and our audience voted against having intro music.
Well, they know what they know. We've got a quality product right here. They don't want
Yeah.
it super informative. We've already dropped some value. If you think you need a new truck in May, don't buy it. If you still need a new truck in August, buy it then. That's a life lesson for landscapers.
Yeah.
If you still need the equipment in August, that means you're busy enough to buy the fucking equipment. If you think you're busy in May, everyone's busy in May. I've completely fucked up my whole business and I'm still busy in May.
When did the about face happen? Like last we spoke, you had nothing on the horizon.
Oh, just have a lot of stuff I scheduled on top of each other because I thought I had nothing.
Isn't that always how it goes?
No, phone's been ringing. We've been doing stuff. We started a commercial project at the art gallery.
Nice.
I
So
go.
no, I would not work there. Although I did get I think, well, I don't have a PO yet, but I did get a really crappy job on Queen Street. So obviously I
Hmm.
still don't know how to price things high enough to not get them. I tried though. I tried really hard.
I cannot for the life of me lose a project this year. Like in the last week, we closed probably 500,000 in work. And I don't know how we're going to get it done, but we got it. So,
Nice.
what do you do? Do you ever back out after winning a job? I haven't yet, and I don't think I will, but
Like a commercial job?
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't think we ever backed out of anything.
So I have a little story if
It's
you guys
bad for
have a second.
bad. I have nothing but time. I'm literally here to listen to your stories, and I have no
We
voice. So you gotta hold this shit down, bro. You and Mike.
um, so we won this job last week. It's for maybe 1,000 square feet of pavers at a new school or a school upgrade or something like that. Um, it's Lexa slab, which they no longer, or Lexa paver, which they no longer make, and it's still being specified by architects. So we're gonna have to find a substitute for that. But besides the fact is, I put in a filler price for topsoil and sod reinstatement because the GC had asked for a topsoil and sod reinstatement price, but there was no landscape drawing to show what areas were being destroyed or which areas were being ripped up or which areas need to be reinstated. So I just put a line item that said a unit rate, X amount of dollars per meter to reinstate. And whenever they called me to discuss me getting the job, they had already won the job. They said, wow, you're going to do all the sod reinstatement for X number of dollars. And the figure was low. It was like $25 to do all of the sod reinstatement on the job. And it like, I told the guy, I'm like, no, I put in a plug based on X number of square meters, and you had to give me the total number of meters. He's like, oh, we used $25 for all of the sod reinstatement on the job.
You'd have to be a fucking moron.
And I said, does that sound right to you? He goes, well, maybe we missed it. And I said, yeah, you missed it. And they say, oh, well, that really worries me. So now, well, I mean, it's not my fault, but someone's going to have to deal with that screw up or eat it. But that's, I guess that's something that you miss whenever you're a commercial estimator. But I mean,
the only reason you get a job in commercial landscaping or commercial work is because it's just a big debate on who missed the most.
yeah, no,
it's the only way to get a job.
Absolutely true.
Anyone who catches everything will never get any fucking work at all.
That's commercial contracting. Absolutely. That's
we started a job today, and there's like a bunch of tree protection fencing, and the spec is like, I don't know, some stupid thing where they're killing a lot of trees to protect these trees. So 2x4s and bullshit and galvanize this.
Galvanize?
No,
are
yeah.
Are they butternuts? They must be trying to protect the butternuts.
No, it's stupid Manitoba maples and garbage.
Oh, my goodness.
Terrible trees.
Yeah.
But we start the job and they're like, here's these, we're supplying, I gave a labor price. We're not supplying any materials. And they're like, here's the snow fence and T-bars. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, whatever. I don't care, but I'm like, this is not what's back. They're like, this is what we're doing. I'm like,
what we're doing.
It's a lot fucking easier for me. So, and I'm not taking any heat for it. I don't really give a shit. But it's the same as like whatever you got to bid stuff you're not going to do. I guess that's how you get jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. We've bid before with the anticipation of changing the wall, regardless of whatever wall they spec. We were going to change it, and you just cross your fingers and hope that's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works. But we also, the GC was supposed to put a straw blanket down, like an erosion control, but they neglected the fact that we are planting hundreds and hundreds of tiny trees on the same slope that they're putting the erosion mat on after the trees are in. So we had a giant meeting with the architect, and well, that's going to have to get changed. And now we're getting an extra for spraying a tackifier with our hydro seed to hold the slope instead of the straw matting and everything. So it's all a dancing match. Like
it's just everyone finding everyone else's mistakes.
Yeah. And then trying to deal with them after the fact.
I was at a site meeting. People are like, why is construction so expensive? And there's a lot of reasons. Fuel is expensive, machines are expensive, trucks are expensive. But I was at a site meeting for this like fairly small commercial job. There was 15 people at the meeting. I'm like, why the fuck are 15 people here? Because whatever the cost of these 15 people are, is now absorbed into the job. And as far as I could tell, the only person at that meeting that might actually do work was me. And that's questionable at best, that I might do work. It was the stupidest 2.5 hour meeting I've ever been to. And I was like, this is why construction is so expensive. There's 14 people here who have no fucking clue what's going on, telling the one person who does know what's going on how to do it.
Yeah.
We've reached a point where there's 15 people managing the project, and I have 3 guys there doing the work. But that's where we are in society, that you need 15 people to manage the project.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 people working who are self-sufficient and can manage themselves if you give them a set of drawings with grades on it and layout. And it gets so fucked up that 15 people are managing these 3 people. You're on an email chain with like 14 people over. There's like, we're demoing the asphalt, and the only part of the asphalt that really should go is the part we're going to cross about 5,000 times to do this job. It's like a thin little path. It's the only part in the drawing they said we need to keep this asphalt and protect it. I'm like, this is 50 square feet of asphalt that's going to fuck up the entire job and make it twice as long to do. They're like, but this asphalt's only 2 years old and the rest of it is 10 years old. I don't give a fuck. Rip it out. Take it out of my part.
Rip it out.
It's gonna cost me 10 grand driving around this stupid fucking $300 worth of asphalt. I'll tear it out for free. I'll fucking pay for the paving of it myself. It's idiotic to keep it. It's gonna cost me $10,000 driving around this stupid fucking patch of asphalt. They're like, oh, yeah, we should take it out. I'm like, what the fuck?
At least you laid down the law. At least you got your way. Sometimes those architects won't budge. Those engineers.
Oh, I just would have drove over it with the fucking 595 and ripped it all to shreds on the first trip. Said, oh, I forgot we were saving that. Fucking motherfucker.
Someone wasn't listening. Yeah.
There's a parking spot kind of indented, and they're like, we need to put a mud mat. I'm like, for what? The fuck do we need? And I'm like, well, whatever. So it's 30-year-old asphalt, cracked to fuck, in a parking spot with a curb around it. I've now laid down geotextile, plywood, and I'm dumping 40 tons of 2-inch clear on it to protect the asphalt. I'm like, this asphalt is valueless. It's
worth less than the plywood.
There's fucking more money in plywood and geotextile and aggregate in this fucking box than if we just risked fucking up the asphalt.
Yeah.
We had to put these crazy silt catchers in the catch basins that like you hook them with T-bars and you put them in. Now there's like T-bars in the middle of the parking lot. Like, who the fuck developed this? This is like, I don't know. It's such a weird. It's one of those things where you're just like shaking your head the whole time and like, whatever.
Great idea. Yeah.
Hey, it all pays the bills.
All pays the bills. That's it.
It all pays the bills.
Which I haven't gotten a check yet this year. Mind you, it's only May, but I have not seen $1 come in, and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars have gone out. But we're getting close, I think.
You're getting close?
Getting close to finishing our first big commercial job for the year. That big patio.
We finished 2 residential jobs today, so that's good.
Wow.
Well, one of them we're not finished. It's you know how every job has something that you look at and you're like, I don't really want any part of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like that's a phenomenon, right? Like
absolutely.
Every job you do residentially. So we did a lift and relay around this pool. We're doing the guys built a beautiful patio in the corner for the fire pit and put in a beautiful tree and rocks. But around the pool, for some reason, someone did Brussels bullnose with 3 layers of Brussels behind it laid in a running bond with mortar joints 1 inch or
Mm.
about half-inch mortar joints in between all of them. But they did it
Hmm.
like 15 years ago, so the mortar's all popping and cracking. And
Yeah.
so we do all the other work, and the guy's like, "Can you fix that?" And I'm just looking at it, going, oh,
Uh,
I want no part of
uh,
this. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't know the guys, but anyway, so that's the only thing we have left because, well, the one guy has been doing a great job on it. He's been working his whole way around. First, he had to grind it all out, then wash it all, and then
yeah.
fucking start. Then he got one of those mortar bags, and he's mortar bagging it and letting it harden and cleaning it. He's got to sponge it and
So
clean it,
he's
sponge it.
piping it back in, like you're
Yeah.
redoing the mortar. Yeah.
Well, he took about half of the mortar joint out of the
Okay.
pavers,
Yeah,
and
the
so now
top.
he's piping in the top.
Yeah.
But in order to make it stick, he's got to grind it, clean it,
Yeah.
blow it, vacuum it, like, get all the dust off it, wash it down. Like, it's like, and
Good
then
for him.
he's got to pipe it all in, and oh, he's doing a great job. He's got to sponge it, but like the whole rest of the job is fucking done, and not his fault. With that kind of thing, I worry more about do a good quality of work than how
Yeah.
fast. Because you do it fast, it's fucked.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
doing a great job, but he was there by himself all day today. Like, I guess he's still doing it. He'll be there. He'll be done tomorrow, but it's just that one part of every
Yeah.
residential job that people look at and go, I don't want to do this, but I'm in. I have no
You're,
out.
yeah.
I have no out.
No one
And
else is going to do it.
the homeowner is an incredibly nice guy. So
Hmm. Yeah.
it's like you just look at stuff and you're like, I want no part of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like one thing I do like about the commercial job we're on, I'm doing it as a contract. So we're going over the contract and saying, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And we get to this one, and it's like there's 12 9 foot deep by 20-inch round sonotubes. I'm good.
How deep? 9 feet?
9 feet deep by 20
Oh,
inches around. I'm like, I'm good.
oh,
I don't want any part of that. I don't know why that needs to happen. They also, it's holding up some crazy structure, so they have to be ultra specific and all have these, the 4 bolts to bolt on, and like
yeah,
9 of them with perfect bolts. And I was like, I want no
yeah,
part of this. And they're like, oh, cool, we'll get the other guy to do it. I'm like, fucking sick,
perfect.
perfect.
Right.
I'm. That's like triaxle load of soil coming out of the ground. 9 feet
Yeah,
deep by 20 inches.
yeah,
Like, I
that's a
mean,
lot.
what are you
How
gonna
do
do?
you, like, how would you, is that an auger job or is that like a digging job?
They're close together. Like, if you dig it, you might as well dig a trench, and then
Yeah,
you'd be better to form and pour a whole beam to put it on.
yeah, like a footing, like a
Like,
whole
because
footing
I
for
don't
it. I don't
9 feet
know.
deep. The only thing I know that drills like that big is like those bucket trucks. They have the big thing for the street lights.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I wonder if you could daylight 9 feet down. Probably not, eh?
You
I
could
don't know.
vacuum it. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
vacuum them. Sure.
Hmm.
That would take like a day per. Well,
I like to say that's a job for someone else whenever we don't want to do
it
something.
was not a job for Paver King.
It was not a job for Favor King. I had a meeting with the electrician on our commercial job last week, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just leave you my conduit, and you can put it in while you're putting your interlock in." And I smiled and nodded, and that was the end of that until he came back the next week, and his conduit wasn't in. He's like, "Oh, I forgot to drop off the T's or the elbows." He's like, "You can just put that in," and I said, "Wait a second, we can put it in, but there's no money left for us to make on this job. And there is money for you to make because you bill by the hour. So you're going to do your own conduit." And they agreed to that. So we got ourselves out of that one.
Nice.
But that's, I find it's hard to ask for more money when you're doing things that aren't your job anyway. Like, why wouldn't the electrician just do it? They can bill for that. They do bill for that. But me, my price is set. There's no room to go up based on putting in the electrician's conduit.
Why? Yeah. It's not my fucking
Like,
problem.
it's not my no. They just figure because your base is there, you can put it in your base.
Sure.
But
You
no,
pay me for it.
yeah, they don't. No, no, that's not how they see things. Anyway,
But the whole world's trying to have you fix their mistake for free.
as the last man out, as a landscaper, I
Yeah.
feel like we're taken advantage of a little bit for that.
Always. The whole world wants you to fix their mistakes for free. Always, man.
Yeah.
It's not because you're the last person.
Last man out. Yeah. Can you put the fence back up? We didn't take the fence down, but you went through it. We didn't take it down. So you got to put it back up.
It was down
And
when I
then,
got here.
yeah, but it's right beside a gas line, and it ended up being a whole nightmare. But
Yeah. Well, you're the last one that used the hole.
you're the last one that used the hole. So
That's your
yeah,
problem.
that's all the landscaper's problem. I what did I have a problem with this week? Never mind. Come back to me. I'll
Come
think of
back.
my
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I had a problem that I wanted to
Well, 3 weeks
address
ago,
this week.
I had a real fucking problem with people purveying themselves to be thought leaders.
Oh, we can go
Ooh.
there.
I'm just
Let's go
saying that
there.
was 3 weeks ago. I'm not angry about it anymore, but at the time I was,
We've cooled off.
obviously, because I
What is
posted.
what is a thought leader, Mike?
I looked it up in the dictionary. It said someone who provides an authoritative view over an industry or something.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I let the people know that they were proclaiming to be thought leaders, that they would meet with heavy resistance from me on
Oh,
every corner.
you took a stand.
I did in an email. It was long.
Ooh, in an email written.
Yeah, it was a long
I didn't get
email.
this email, so I must not be a thought
No, it
leader.
was a selective group of people.
I'm a thought follower.
Did
In
they
the end, it all,
declare themselves as a thought leader? Like, what was
yes, there was a
Okay.
declaration of thought leadership.
I've
And
always
then
wondered about that. Like, how do you declare yourself an influencer or a thought leader or something like that?
well, it's the same. You just say it enough and people believe it.
I guess so.
It's like saying you're the king.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's true. You just say something enough and just say it. Like if you were to say over and over and over again, I'm an influencer, or have it on your like how to Hardscape account, influencer of the Hardscape genre, people read it and they're just like, that guy's an influencer. Look at him influencing the shit out of me. Like, I don't know. Like I obviously that's a thing. People just claiming they're influencers. I mean, Jesus, man, we live in a world where people just start their own university. Like, obviously, it's okay.
Is that still going? Like, I haven't
I
seen. Maybe I just haven't been looking. I've been too busy.
I've been
Haven't
too
seen
busy too.
any of these videos. Like,
You
maybe
guys
that's
never
why we
got
have
any
nothing.
calls from them? Like, I've signed you guys up multiple times and
I got that other guy reaching out to be on his podcast, but that's
okay.
it.
That guy sent me a thing too. So it's a join my calendar and pick a day. I thought, oh,
Like,
nice. So I joined the calendar.
did you? I
But
didn't get that far.
I said, I'll be on this guy's podcast. I think he's in for a world of hurt if he didn't investigate who I am.
Uh-oh.
And he
I
just,
recommended you.
well, I know you did,
I,
but I just
I,
think that I mean, we all know it's not for everybody. So I was like, I'm going to go on this guy's podcast and he's probably not going to publish it, but whatever. It's a nice hour of my life. So I went on the calendar,
another unpaid hour of Mike's thought.
another unpaid hour of my time. So I went on this guy's calendar and it said you can choose on May 17th between 12 or 2. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Oh, maybe it was May 27th. I'm like, yeah, dude, May 27th doesn't work for me. I'm not even going to look because if you're going to try and force feed May 27th down my throat, you can suck it because there was no other options except May 27th at noon or 2. You're telling me this guy who runs this podcast, who's so desperate for guests, he's emailing me and he doesn't even know who the fuck I am. That guy has a calendar so busy, I can only pick from 2 times on one day. That guy is self-important and can suck my ass. I don't even know who he is. I didn't even look him up.
Wow, I didn't go that far. I just said I may be a
That's
little
because you
harsh,
knew it
and
didn't.
I'm a commercial landscaper, so I have nothing to do with your content.
Why
So,
you emailed him back?
oh yeah,
That's more than I did.
yeah.
I
No,
looked
you
at
went
his.
on the calendar.
No,
I
I
didn't
went on,
go.
but I didn't acknowledge him. I just went on
Oh,
his calendar. Mike's
oh.
sitting there going, "Fuck! I recommended these two to you."
Uh,
I knew what I was getting into recommending you
You
guys.
don't think it's pretentious to say, "Look on my calendar and pick a date that works for you," but only allow me to see one day with two times? That's pretentious. That's him saying he's so much more important than I am. And I'm like, dude, I don't know who you are. You may think you're important. You may actually be important, but I don't fucking care. I don't know who you are. Who is that guy, Mike?
I,
Give
I
us,
was gonna
leader.
say something, but I don't
give
want
us
to point him out, I guess.
why? Give his podcast a shout out.
I mean, people like his podcast. It's a good so actually,
I
I've
didn't see
heard
his
good things
podcast.
about it.
he
Actually,
did a mastermind or some sort of
Oh my god.
installation course with the guy from Pave Tool, the
Perfect.
concrete edge restraint guy. Or sorry, not the
Perfect.
concrete edge restraint guy, the metal edge restraint.
oh
Perfect.
no,
Yeah. So I
we
should
were doomed from the
now
start
now
with
I'm
this guy.
really interested in signing up for this guy's fucking thing. Maybe I'll make time on the 27th.
I heard it was a really good weekend or whatever it was that they did that, but that is the Outer Spaces podcast, and I've heard really good things about it. I've been on the show, and I've had Joshua on my show. But yeah,
I'll give
So
it a
who
go, but
so who is that
he
guy?
that's Joshua.
Yeah, but what is it like? What is he? Is he like a landscaper, a
So he was a
hardscaper?
landscaper. He became a designer, and I think he's still a designer. And then he's got like this whole um, course that's like a sales cycle leadership course or everything. Just I kind of got lost in his thing because he's big on like Tim Robbins. No, Tim Robbins. That's an
Yeah,
actor. Tony Robbins.
Tony.
Tony, yeah. And I just can't buy into that type of the Tony Robbins sort of thing. So
Will
I
he
kind
make
of stopped listening to the podcast and all that.
will he make me do a firewalk on his podcast?
Probably, maybe. He didn't make me do one, so I don't know.
Oh, now I'm more interested in this. Now I feel like I might be a great guest for this podcast.
He does seem like a good guy. I'll say that for
Oh,
sure.
I'm not saying he's a bad
No,
person.
I'm not saying you're saying that. I just
He just
you just said he's pretentious. He's not a bad person. He's just pretentious.
you if you invite someone to something and say, look in my
Yeah,
calendar,
yeah.
I'm expecting to be able to look at all the days on the calendar. And I know some of them might be filled because obviously he's an important person. But I would like more than May 27th at either 12 or 2. I don't think that's even a good way to get people to come on your show.
Yeah, I don't think it's very inviting. Like, it's not a good way to. It's not a
It's
good
what
first
maybe
impression for sure. You
we
know,
should start doing this. We should start that. Here, pick a calendar. This is
yeah.
when you can come on. It just enjoy it.
well, this is our first podcast in 3 weeks, so we'd have a very limited slot for people to come and join us.
I went to Car Landscape Depot and did like an influencer appearance.
Ooh, how was that?
It was super fun. Tyler and Angelica that owned Car are great. They're awesome. I had a super fun time with them. We gave out a whole bunch of fuck tech shirts. They were
All my
popular.
workers want those shirts. So, can we get those shirts? Why can't we get Paver King shirts? Because you work for
I
Natural
can.
Design.
Oh, did they? Well, we did it in the poll. My shirts won 80% over your shirts.
Well, of course they did.
Ooh.
Of course they did.
It was 80-20. 20% of the people, and I think it was mostly your wife repetitively voting that made you get
Might
20.
be. She's my biggest supporter. She's awesome.
I
She's
agree.
awesome.
But I'm saying that's how you ended up with 20%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, without your wife, it was like 95%.
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
It's-
I know she voted. I know she voted for your shirt.
Yeah, she's great.
I think we could
So
sell. I think we could successfully sell fuck deck shirts.
For sure.
I think you could, yeah.
One of my
Yeah.
guys was wearing one at the bar, and all these people were cheering or something.
Really?
Fuck decks, build patios. We
Uh,
I priced a deck. Well, I had a deck priced. It was like a 5x6 deck with a big set of stairs. It was like $8,000. It was a big set of stairs, but it was like $8,000. I'm like, this deck's 30 square feet.
and
That's
was
some.
that
That's
including
some.
the permit or without the permit?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't care about it. I just, we like. I'm just saying, but that's what the deck is worth. Like, it's just worth that much.
Hmm.
Decks are expensive, man.
Everything's expensive. Construction is expensive.
Well,
That's true.
fuel's cheaper.
Fuel's cheaper, that's true.
I don't know how many people they factored managing the deck though. Maybe it was only needed 9 people to manage the deck and the deck construction, not the full 15.
Yeah.
There was a guy at the beginning. He's like, I'm a head of security. The fuck are you doing here? Like, what do you
My-
mean?
I
He knows you're there. That's why.
I went
guess.
to my meeting last week. I was the only English speaking person in the meeting. So
How'd
I
that
did a lot
go
of
for you?
smiling and nodding. Well, they could speak English, but whenever they were talking amongst themselves, it was French here, French there, like French
So did you
pockets
get
of
did you get the job
conversation.
that was all in French?
I don't think so.
Oh, I
Like,
thought
no.
that's why you were
This
at that
no,
meeting.
this is a different job in French. But they would respond to me in English just when they were talking to each other. They all had thick French accents and stuff. So
You're talking about the dirty landscaper.
dirty landscaper. No, I knew more than most of them actually. So it was all right. Um, I remembered my problem. I have a pool installer that is lying to my client. What do I do?
Is the pool install your friend?
He's my worker's friend. He's in a band with two of my incredible laborers. Well, installers. Um, so the client had scheduled this pool last fall, and for some reason that got bumped to this spring. And I've been in contact with the client because we have all their material for their pool surround. I want to set grade for the pool before it goes in.
Why are you setting grade?
Because that determines my steps and the height of the patio.
Yeah, but when the pool installer set grade, or you're going to tell him what height you want the pool at?
Yeah, I'm just going to tell him what height I want the pool at, right? And this pool installer has told the client that he's reached out to me multiple times, or that he would call me that day, and he never has, and I can't get a hold of the guy. So now it's a back and forth between me and the client and the pool installer, who I have no desire to work with because
He's lying about you. So
he's lying about me.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
seems like one of those times you just say to the client, listen, it's been good.
except I have $35,000 of their product sitting at the retailer waiting to go to that job so we can do it.
Well, I would get them to pay for the product.
No, they already did. They did. Like they covered
Oh,
the cost
then
of
who
material
cares?
last
Get out
year,
of
but
there.
like they're
Bail.
nice. They're really nice people. I don't want to leave them hanging, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the
it's
client.
it's mid-May right now, and their pool hasn't been dug, and you were promised it last fall. What's the protocol here? Like, what happens? I can't dig your pool. I can't put in your pool. It's not, nor is it my job to, right?
How big a deposit did they give the pool guy?
I don't know. I have no clue.
I'm going to guess a lot.
A lot.
And I guess the money's gone.
Enough that he doesn't need to go back there quickly to do it.
It's so I don't know.
No, I'm going to guess a deposit came in. That deposit's supposed to pay for the pool kit, right? Because the pool kit companies don't give credit that I know of. That deposit got spent maybe on cheap beer. I don't know.
But
And now the spring is, so then in the fall, they couldn't do the pool because it got too cold or whatever. The deposit was spent over the winter.
in Alberta.
Well, I don't know. Cocaine and hookers aren't cheap. So the deposit is gone. And now the guy's trying to sell another pool to get that deposit to buy the kit for this pool.
could
But
you
we're
imagine?
not selling a lot of pools. I don't think this story is that obscure.
No,
Like
but it's beyond my realm of what I think is acceptable, right? Like I
it's because
could
you're not a
never.
fucking scumbag.
At least I like to think I'm not, but like I could never get myself in that predicament. Or maybe I'd like to think I couldn't.
I would say in my life, I have been to at least 10 or 15 jobs that are
Of
in
those.
exactly the
Yeah.
situation you're describing.
Yeah.
It's because the guy took the deposit and spent the money and doesn't have the money to buy the kit or pay the people to dig the hole. Because usually you give them the
Yikes.
money to dig the hole in the kit. I guarantee that money is fucking gone and he
Oh,
doesn't know what to do. So now he's not answering the phone. He's blaming you.
yeah. And maybe like that absolutely could be a possibility.
If it was me, I would ask the client, did you give the pool guy a deposit on this? Because you might think about getting your deposit back.
Yeah.
That's all I'd say. I'd
Yeah,
say
that's
like,
true.
did you give them a deposit? I might think about requesting your deposit back, and so you can
So,
get someone else to put this pool in. And that's
so,
when the guy's going to get exposed.
so what happens whenever the whole job gets kiboshed and she's stuck with this $35,000 of
Well,
beautiful
you can't
material
install a
that I
patio.
can't.
Well, you can install a patio in her backyard without it. She just won't have a pool.
Yeah, I suppose. But the whole reason of doing the job was because the pool is going in. So,
Well, maybe you can sell
what
it
a
on a
nightmare.
beautiful patio.
I'm going to call her tomorrow. She's a very nice lady, actually.
I would call her up
So,
and be upfront about it and say, hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
did you give this guy a deposit? Do you know if your pool kit is secured? A whole bunch
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. I'll open the dialogue.
I can't get a hold of this guy. Do you know his schedule? When does he plan on
Yeah.
putting it in?
I texted her a couple days ago and I asked, hey, so what's up with your pool? Do you have an install date? Because like I don't have a lot of room, but I know I promised you a spot and we'd get this going for you as soon as the pool was in. But now I'm nipple deep in work that needs to get done before the end of summer, and that project's fallen off the table.
It sounds like it freed you up some time, this project.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how we get everything done every year. My partner he woke up at like 3 o'clock one morning and he couldn't go back to sleep. He said he was worried about how we're going to get everything done. And I just told him the same way we do every year. We just do it one day at a time. And somehow miraculously it gets done. Just
And
gets done.
what's the worst case scenario if it doesn't? You do it next year?
Yeah. Or they get mad at you, but then you work. I don't know. We
But
just
see,
always
here's the thing in the commercial business, who gives a fuck if they get mad at you? As long as you're the lowest price, they
still
will
low. Yeah.
always hire you.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
Do you
Because
lose a relationship that like a
No,
GC, or
No.
is it totally
No,
fine?
they
no,
won't
because
care.
they'll still
As long
call
as
you
you're
for
the
the
lowest
next
price.
price. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll still call you for the lowest price. But
They don't care because they need to get the jobs, and the only way they
yeah,
get the jobs is to have the lowest price trades.
I see.
If there's three GCs in Cornwall, and two of them are using carrying Chad's price, and you're not because you're pissed at Chad because he didn't show up or whatever happened,
Hmm.
but the price you're carrying is higher, you're not. The other two are going to get the jobs.
you just gave yourself a 10% disadvantage or something.
Yeah, like
Like if you
10%
go
on the
with that.
landscape.
Yeah.
So you need to carry the lowest price trade.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you do to people. It doesn't matter what you do to them. It doesn't matter how you treat them. You can literally tell them to go fuck themselves, and the next day they'll ask you for another price
They'll call you for a price. Yeah.
because they don't care about anything except it being cheap.
Yeah.
It's a very one-dimensional style of work.
Interesting.
You should go on that guy's podcast and talk about how you can do anything and it doesn't matter as long as you're cheap. It is actually interesting.
It's the exact opposite of everything you strive to do as a residential landscape. High quality
I've
Come in
and
been
cheap.
precision, and it is fast and loose and high dollar values out of low dollar work. It's a thrill ride. I love it.
it's something.
It's something.
Well, and then sometimes you get a good win. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not all bad. It's just
No, it's mostly good. I love it.
So, guys, I
Well,
need a new saw. Which saw should I buy?
Are
I don't
you
know.
like a cutoff saw?
Like a demo saw?
Well,
Somebody rolled away with my Hilti,
they rolled away with it.
like a skateboard.
They
I
stole
sold mine. I
Did
could have
you?
given you mine. Yeah, I sold mine last week. The guy was happy as a pig in shit to get that saw.
How much did you sell it for?
$500, I
Wow.
think. And I even put I had just bought a new Still 420, and you know how they give you that shitty diamond blade with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "Does the saw come with a blade?" I said, "No, but if you
Can
give
we
me
not talk
asking
about
price."
diamond blades on this podcast? Anyways, go ahead, Chad.
So I said, "No, the saw doesn't come with a blade, but if you give me asking price, I'll give you this brand new Still 14-inch blade that I don't use because we use a brute blade or whatever it is." So then he was happy with
So
that.
did someone steal your Sonic?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. Like, could have been on the
Well,
job site, could have been in my parking garage. I don't know.
where was the saw?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know where I left it last, and yeah, it's gone.
You don't know where you left it last.
It's yeah. They left a note saying they wouldn't have taken it, but it had wheels, so they had to take it.
They rolled it down. What street are you on? Queen Street? Aren't you right downtown?
Lakeshore.
Rolled it right down Lakeshore.
Yeah. Like a
Did you go
skateboard.
to the closest pawn shop and buy your saw back?
I
Have
should
you
have.
checked Kijiji or
I
Facebook
I did.
Marketplace?
Yeah.
That's the first place I went whenever my
When
three
was
saws got
when
lifted.
was the last time you looked for the saw?
So it was probably taken Monday evening or Tuesday evening.
And so you used it all day Monday.
I did not use it Monday.
When was the last time you used it?
Probably Friday.
So you used it on Friday.
Yeah.
Between Friday and Monday, you don't remember where you put it. And now it's missing.
No, I must have used it Monday. That's why I know that it was Monday evening. That, yeah, like I can't keep track of days right now, but I know that I know it's Tuesday or Monday evening because I must have used it the day before.
Well, today, so I would buy a Still 420.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, that's what I would buy.
I was thinking
four.
Husqvarna.
No. Well, maybe if you. I have 3 420s.
I have 4. Because I'm just that much better than you, Chad.
I had 3
You
that
just-
got stolen.
You just think about it.
But,
I have 4.
yeah,
You've had 3 stolen?
Yeah, I got 3 stolen at the same time.
Oh, one
Someone
shot.
Came to my yard, pulled all 3 out of the trailer.
Ouch.
Gum. But I would say still.
So what have you been doing without a saw this week?
I haven't needed it. I've been doing a lift and relay of some steps and a patio. So I don't need it for
I
now.
thought you were out of the lift and relay business.
No, I've held on to it. I've held on to about like 25 to past couple of years, like up to 50% of it.
Wow.
I'm thinking my goal is to have a lift and relay crew and then a design build crew in the future. Just to hold on to those two and use the lift and relay more so as like a training ground to bring people into the design build business.
I
That's a
like
good
that.
idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea. It's a good
My
idea.
my new installer has been doing lift and relays for me
Oh yeah.
recently. So yeah, we're just getting his toes wet in that. But
Did you send him to fix that lady's house?
yes, I did actually.
Really?
Yep, that
And
one from a couple weeks ago.
Did you fix it for free?
Yep, fixed it for free.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
After 9 years.
after 9 years, we fixed it for free. And I didn't hear anything until the next day. She says, I haven't seen it, but my husband says it looks good. Thanks. And I didn't respond. That's it.
So a woman from 9 years ago texts you. You send someone there to fix it,
Yeah.
and then you don't respond when she says thanks.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Was
You're
there any
welcome.
was there
Call
any
me again
debate
in another 9 years.
was there any debate about whether or not she was going to pay you?
She asked how much. I just said no charge. And
How long was
but that was before I did the repair.
the guy there?
8 hours. Two of them 8 hours. So
So she offered to pay for it,
yeah, yeah.
and you
But
refused.
I refuse. I don't
That's a
like.
really good warranty.
I For what it would have cost them. I feel like so what you charge them $1,000, but then you're on the hook for it again for X number of
Oh
time.
yeah,
What
oh
where
yeah,
now is like I've done more than my share for them, you know? Like my
yeah.
conscience is clean now.
Oh,
If it were
you
up
can't
to
put a
whether you
price on
take,
that.
yeah, $100 or $1,000 and hold on to it for the next 5 years as a warranty, or you just fix it one day and eat $800, whatever it was, and have a clean
You
conscience and
can't
never have to go back.
you can't you
Like,
can't put a price on that.
I can't put a price on that. Like, I'll
I
make it
agree
up
with you.
somewhere else, like it's to
Well,
me,
you
it's
could
just
just
not.
call it goodwill,
Yeah,
charity work.
Marketing.
charity work.
Some people
Yeah.
give their money to Ukraine. Some people fix other people's steps. They put in 9 years ago. We all have to do our part for
Yeah.
society to survive.
Make the world a better place. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
So,
That's
so now it's done, and I have a clean conscience, and I can go to bed at night. I think the thing that made me decide I was going to do it and do it for free is somebody blasted some other company on Facebook or something like that the night before. And I'm like, you know what? This guy has a free day tomorrow. I'm going to send him to fix this set of steps. Then my conscience will be clean and no one will be able to blast me online. And it'll 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 go a long way.
Did
So
you
if
ask for a
someone
positive review?
no.
Oh, that's the
No,
least
because
you
I
could
didn't
have
even
done.
respond.
Oh,
if if someone blasted you online, would that make you upset?
Not really.
I'm
We've
just
had
it's a legit question. I'm just
a
asking.
lady before has so we were laying sod out front of her house on a commercial job for another GC who we don't work for often because they don't pay their bills. But um, laying sod is not a graceful job. Like the guys are throwing around rolls, and when they hit the ground, they'll kick them and roll them out and then tuck them in with their feet and stuff like that's just how you do commercial sod, right? Like you're not
Oh,
gentle with
it's
it.
how you do commercials.
But you're right. That's how we do. That's where low bid
I
and
al-
all the
I also
grass grows and
I
it looks
also
great.
I also do it the same way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But to some people, they think you're mistreating the sod, like it has feelings or something.
Fuck the
And
sod.
this lady went online and she's like, they're awful. They were kicking the sod and stomping on it. And she went on like a whole bunch of things. She's like, my sod's gonna die now. It's like, are you fucking insane? Like, we're just getting the commercial sod down. Like, this is how things are done. Mhm. Anyway. And then people said, don't mind Barb. She's just fucking nuts. So most people know better than to
Listen to
take a
Barb.
recommendation. Don't listen to fucking Barb. She's like all over the city of Cornwall Facebook page, and she's a nut bar.
I wouldn't mind getting tuned up online. I'm cool with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? We did a driveway we started it last week. We finished it today. And mostly because it was one of those jobs where the homeowner kept, I want a planter box here, I want another planter box there. Well, like, anyways. But he wanted a black driveway with black sand. And at the time I was like, why am I ripping up asphalt to put down a all black driveway with black sand? This it seemed like really expensive way to make your driveway look like asphalt. So we did it, and I have to say the guy was right. It looks sick. It
Oh,
looks
yeah?
really good. Yeah, it looks super cool.
What's the product?
Uh Block Teco 80 smooth, not HD. The guy actually didn't like the HD finish.
Oh, really?
Don't know why. I liked it. He thought the standard smooth finish was blacker than the HD.
Hmm.
But I mean that's kind of an opinionated.
Yeah.
It's how his pupils were focusing.
I get a lot of the shale gray looks blue.
Yeah.
The
The
HD
color-
or the HD or the regular?
Regular.
What about the HD?
I never got that with the HD. They look the same to me.
I don't give them an option. Should I be giving them an option?
Well,
I
he
give them a
just
few options when it comes to colors.
No, but like HD or regular.
Oh, yeah. These days I go all HD.
I just to tell you where I'm at with my life. I priced a job this week where the guy already one of his friends was tearing their house down. So he went up and picked up the 500 square feet of pavers and then put it in his backyard. And now we're in I think we're going to get the job. I feel like we're close to closing it, but we're going to install these used pavers in his backyard.
Nice. Yeah.
And it made me,
Do you have to pick them up or they're already in the
no,
backyard?
they're in the back. They're in the back. You put them in the back and they're, a Rosabelle slab. So there's some weird,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, I know.
yeah. Yeah.
Makes it,
Dogs
makes
and
it
chickens.
the dogs and the
Yeah.
chickens and the dogs. And,
Yeah.
and at first I felt kind of like, this is where I'm at. Last year we were building glorious cabanas and outdoor kitchens, and this year and that's okay. But
Yeah.
then I remembered I was saving the environment and I was lowering the carbon footprint of this patio. And I knew it would be rewarding for us. And I thought maybe Justin Trudeau would visit us because we're doing this. And then that's when I realized how great it was to be doing this. Well, I don't know. I appreciate I think it's going to actually be a nice job because we're going to build some stairs and do some other stuff. So
You'll have good karma. My second year of business, I signed up a lot of driveway lift and relays on this one street, and I would palletize them, wrap them up, and have the delivery driver drop them off at people's places that I would sell them on Kijiji. These pallets of pavers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
my
yeah.
second year of business.
didn't you need them?
Oh, that's if I sold them on having a new product in there installed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry,
I like
said
that,
lift
yeah.
and relays, but
I've
How
probably
much,
made. Go ahead.
well, how much money did you make doing that, Mike?
not much. It just offset the cost of disposal, the delivery, and then I'd pocket like a few $100.
I made $5,000 selling scrap brick this year, just at the yard, like picking up old shit. People want to come buy it, half layers of stuff, but then you have to be there, and they want to deal with you, and can you help me load it and all this shit, and they bring fucking patio. I sold like 7 patio slabs for $25, and then she could only come in like the middle of the day, and I was working. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Like, get lost.
Get lost.
Get lost. Forget it. Some other guy I told him, no, he's like, oh, those bricks are perfect. He's like, give me your address and a landmark. And I gave him my address and I said, the building in the front has no siding on it. He goes, great. And give me a landmark. I said, I just gave you a landmark. I don't know how to make it more clear. He goes, I don't think this is gonna work. I'm like, yeah, you're as dumb as a fucking bag of rocks. Like, don't waste my time. Like, what more of a landmark could you want? It's like if you live on a long street, bro, like, so use your GPS. Like,
I'll have it.
it'll take you right there, you fucking idiot. I just don't have me and
Here's
people. I don't know.